Hi, my name is Roberto Silva Lozano, and I will be talking about what I learned about the second module. Okay, to start off, it is clear that culture takes a big role in society, especially nowadays that we are globalized. Knowing this, in order to be culturally competent, there are steps and areas where we can be located in order to identify ourselves, to see what best suits us, and what we have to be aiming to get better for a better understanding at the same time of the world and society. In order to be culturally competent, I must locate myself on the scale of cultural competence. I consider myself as a cultural pre-competence and soon be aiming to become a cultural competence person, a complete cultural person instead of a pre, as I have international experience, which I wanted to happen this year, but it wasn't possible because of COVID-19. And this experience or work will basically delete some of my bias ideas and will start actually my values and beliefs start changing. But as I was growing through all these years of high school, I started to acknowledge many new things, and I started to comprehend and understand other cultures rather than just understanding them and being aware. I started to adapt them and basically being who they are. Right now, I am located due to the fact that I am aware, right, of the cultures, and I haven't had that experience that could change me. Is that I respect their ideas and the way of being because where I come from, right? As well as I'm generally informed about the issues around the world. That's what I am a pre-cultural competence. Generally, I do want to be informed about other cultures and at the same time adapt them as I have been told. And moving on, I also have learned during this second module, which is so important and it's also good to say, the theories. We have two theories, and mainly the concepts that I learned are salad bowl theory, melting pot, and the importance of cultural proficiency. For these examples, I'm going to put them in real life situations in order to understand and to keep all my knowledge of this one. First of all, I will start off with the salad bowl because we can see this, it's taken place in New York. It's such a good example where we have like the streets, like the roads of the street of the Chinese people, of the Mexican people. We have all this salad thing, which instead of melting everything as the opposite, what it does is basically takes all cultures and every people stay with their culture. And New York is such a great example of that because many people tend to stay with where they come from, the cultures, their things. Then we have the melting pot, which is basically United States in general. Most of the time, because we have seen that people immigrate in here, Mexicans, European people, people from Africa, Afro-Americans, Asian people in general, right? And we have seen what it does. It basically makes all cultures and adapt them into United States culture. Then moving on, we have the most important thing that people should be aiming to become is cultural proficient, where they stop assuming things and start taking values and beliefs in order to commit the learning of other cultures, which I have adapted into my life in order to, as I already said, understand and as well evolve as a person to become more than aware, actually make changes where there need to be changes in culture. It is also good to say that I'm in an adaptation scale of the Bennett scale, which is pretty good because we know that rather than just being aware and also wanting a change, we are adapting that change and behavior to become more effective. This is such a good change and such a good thing for ourselves because as young people, we have to be aiming not just to be accepting others or minimizing things. We have to be adapting things because now it's the time where we can adapt in order to later on integrate into our lives. Then another topic really important, appropriation, appreciation. Really simple. I learned that appropriation is something, ideas or cultures you take base from and you didn't give credit to, or you're aiming to not taking the credit of that culture. A great example could be Dior bags, which basically they were selling for 70,000 pesos, 700,000 pesos or more, I don't know. It was such a great quantity, and it wasn't because of helping this Mexican idea. It was basically robbing the idea. Then we have appreciation. A great example is Coco. Even though Pixar like gained many millions of dollars. It was for Mexicans, as me as a Mexican, I thought this is such a great movie. It represents our culture and it makes people realize the importance of the 1st of November, you know? And basically, this is such a great example, such a great thing we can adapt into our lives, and it's identifying these little things that can change. And we have power of relations, power with, and power over, which is really important because power over is basically control over things, and power with is as a leader, as someone, we are taking all our country and nation becoming into someone better. Rather than just having the power over, we are pushing ourselves. And that'll be it. That's all I have learned during this second journal. These are some good examples of what I have become and how I adapt. And that'll be it.